Okay. Nora and I are back for the next part. Huh. Are you ready? Oh, is he getting tired? Quick thing. This glasses case was found on the floor. It's got flowers. Anyone? Yes? No? Right here. Oh, it's Sharon's. Thank you, Lita. Or thanks for now. Oh. Yay. One problem solved. Couple quick announcements before we got some really phenomenal giveaways. I'm just saying. No fighting. No fighting today. Keep your hands to yourself. Just kidding. Um, First of all, our announcement is mainly about the Samaritan's Purse Operation Christmas Child. Um, Between last week and the week before, y'all were so generous. We raised $250, and that is for boxes. Yes, that was amazing. Thank you so much for just even loose change. Every little bit counts because some people, again, they put the boxes together, but then they don't put in the money to get the box to the child. And so you guys have really helped a lot because Weta at Pink Table that has black pumpkins on it. Raise your hand, Weta. Weta, thank you, had boxes that she just needed to get shipped. And so now those are kids that they're getting shipped, and I'm so excited. So thank you all so much for your generosity with that. We will continue collecting money just because that's going to be a need for this week. And then the next week on November 14th is our next speaker. But if you are wanting to do one of these boxes for this Christmas receiving, we need to have them by November 14th, which is our next session. So we have 6 boxes up here, and we have some more back there, some that are not folded yet, so they still are lying flat. Or there's a couple different ways to give differently. If going shopping is not your thing, there's a way to like sponsor a box, and then someone can do the shopping for you and get it out. Remember that these are great because you can use them with your kids and you can scan and track them to find out where the box goes, which I think is awesome. And we're going to hear about that. We want to see where your boxes went and see how other kids were impacted with it. So the information is on there, but November 14th, 2 weeks from today, is the last opportunity to get them for this Christmas. As I mentioned in one of our other meetings, this is the way, donating items for giveaways is the way to promote your business. And Stephanie, right here, raise your hand, Stephanie, at Green Table, is a cookie decorator. She might have had a couple extra, and they might have already disappeared from our table over there because I needed to be able to help promote. But they are legit good, and they are, she even has like a cute way to display them. There's 8 little cookies in this, and there are 3 of them, and we are going to be giving them away. Amanda's helping with some special questions because, we have to make it difficult because they're really good, and the decorations, you're going to have to find the winners of these to see them. They're so cute. The first one is, who has the most carved pumpkins? Carved. I know, getting the seeds. How many do you have? 4. We have 4. We have 4. Okay. They're carved. Bring it. Bring it. She has proof. I'm telling you, these cookies are amazing. Oh, yes, you do. Fantastic. All right, you get one of, pick one of the globes. Yep. Yes. They're so cute. Oh, here's a trivia question. If you win, you get to come claim another cookie set. How many pounds of candy corn is produced each year? I don't mind if you Google The Price is Right, whoever's first wins. Are we doing thousands or 2,500,000 tons? Oh, all right, come get a cookie set. Woo! There is no shame of Googling. Yeah, who has the fastest fingers? Aren't they amazing? They taste delicious. What country, Google, holds the record for the largest pumpkin ever? That's all right. America? Yes. You can look at Canada. What? Amanda's phone says differently. All right, we're going to need a new question, but what does your phone say? Switzerland. Next question. Who has done the most trunk or treats this season? Attended, trunk setup, 3. We see 3 at White. Anyone have more than 3? No trunk or treaters? I did. I did, yes, but I've only done 1. I know I can't win. Someone had to have done more than 1. Otherwise, that sucker's coming home with me. Brandy has 3. That you decorated your trunk 3 times? 1 time. Trunk decorations. Trunk or treat? Trunk decorations. How many times did you decorate your trunk for a trunk or treat? Okay, come, you win. That was 2 trunks in your family. I'll take it. And coincidentally, just to keep up with the cookies, we had a last minute addition. Amanda, who I just met at Lavender Table, her mom does Nana Bee's cookies, and these are a bit different in decorations. Amanda, can you hold those up so they can see them? They're like printed. They're super cool. I have not tried these yet. What? They're painted on. Yep, we're going to grab, Oh, all right, Google, let's go. Get them ready. What year will have the next Halloween with a full moon? Right? Your phone is not my friend. 2039. Come on, Katie. Oh, Amanda's walking around with your gift, so just give her a second. So 2039 is when there will be a full moon. We have some pumpkin candles up here and a cute little Thanksgiving fall decor. And Nicole, our speaker, also has some great gifts, and she sent some great questions. So, who is planning on having the most guests over to their house on Thanksgiving? Let's start with more than 10. More than 10. 13. 22. Bella, you might have won. Come grab a candle or a plaque. And Rebecca, you can come grab a candle or a plaque as well. That's soap, yep. I know, I'm so excited for you. We can as a set. We're going to do these 3 pumpkin candles as a set. Amanda is going to, thank you. Who's it going to be, Nora? Who's it going to be? Caroline at Peach Table. Is Caroline at Peach Table? Oh, perfect. You get these 3 cute pumpkin candles. Huh? All 3? Who does not serve turkey on Thanksgiving? Oh, you buy it? What do you serve? Steak and shrimp. Prime rib. Wow. Oh, boy. Y'all are non-traditionalists. That wasn't expected. I know. Rock, paper, scissors. Okay, yeah, rock, paper, scissors. And how many are you having? Thanksgiving. Oh, are you hosting Thanksgiving? Yeah? 8. Okay, you get this soap bottle back here. Or no, you get one of these. Sorry, one of these. Loop to loop. Will you put those? Beverly, will you click the slides? This is Nicole, our speaker today, but this is her business, Loop to Loop Crochet. It's amazing. This is going to have a dish scrubber and a pot holder in one bag, and then the other one is verse cards and bracelets. But Nicole is super creative. She is another mom who doesn't sit still, and so her stuff is so cute. You're going to want to follow her. And then we have, hold on. I feel like such a newbie here. Who started Christmas shopping? Any of you done? All right. Come get, yep, there you go. We salute you and we want your powerful gifts. Amazing. Kudos to you. You just put the pressure on all of us, but that's okay. It's a good fire. I know. Okay. Without further ado, Nicole Smith has been in Mom's Connection for a while. She's at Purple Table, and she has become a dear friend of mine. We can joke around pretty much well, and we get to work together. She is a wife to Zane of 8 years, and she has 3 amazing boys, Hayden, Cameron, and Jack. This is their family. She has a funny accent. She's from South Africa. She is not from England, so don't mix the two up. But please welcome Nicole Smith to share friendships with us.
It's a little nerve-wracking being up here. Is this on? Can you hear me? Okay, good. I'm so excited to be up here. I see so many happy, smiling faces. I've been here for a while, so hopefully I do know a lot of you. And I'm really excited to be speaking about something that I absolutely adore, and that is friendships. So let's open up in prayer. Okay. Lord, I pray that the words spoken today are a direct reflection of your light and love. These ladies are all precious sisters, and they all possess the boldness to pursue friendships using the biblical truths they're reminded of today. We know that none of this is possible without your blessing, and we ask this all in your name. Amen. All right. So I stood here in February 2020 without a clue of what was about to come to the world. And the last time I provided a glimpse into my testimony and journey of faith, when I had Cameron, my middle son, who was born with extensive medical needs. Today, I'm putting on my teacher's cap and hopefully provide you tools that you can use in being bold in friendships. So I decided let's get down to business and let's just rip that Band-Aid off. I did say the last three years have been a bit of a doozy, and we have seen very clear examples of division, distraction, and joy stealing over and over again, just highlighted even more so over the last 3 years. I mean, between vaccines, abortions, political allegiance, gender definitions, don't California out Texas, should Christians celebrate Halloween? And then I take a deep breath. Did I just make you squirm a little? Are you avoiding eye contact with the ladies at your table? Are you thinking to yourself, this woman is nuts? First slide up and she's already poking the bear. Well, if you know me, I don't mind poking the bear. I encourage it. I love discussion. I love debate. But this is Satan's goal. And don't be fooled. These topics are hot because they cause division and destruction. They cause conflict in families, divisions within churches, and destruction of friendships. I'm sure we can all identify a friendship that has been harmed by the way you felt about an issue like this and maybe how your friend has felt. All right. So, sisters, I believe that our time now is to be bold, even more so than in the past. So, a little bit about me. I moved from home at 17 when I began university in a separate town, and then I moved back home at 21 to begin my first high school teaching job. Moved to London at 27 where I met Zane, who was living in the UK at the time, and then we moved back here, or to the US, at 32. And at each of those points, I had to resettle, meet new people, meet new colleagues, establish new friendships, and new circles of friendships were created. And we can all relate that with each new season in motherhood, we make new friends and we foster new friendships. And it's uncomfortable, it's unsettling, and it's nerve-wracking, and it pushes us out of our comfort zones. So this is my crazy family. My beautiful family, my husband Zane and my 3 boys. And I had to include these pictures because in each one of them there is something going on. Cameron crying because he wanted to play in the sand, but his mother wanted a picture of the sunset. Jack is crying because, well, it's Jack, and he was crying on London Bridge as he was exhausted because his crazy parents decided that a transatlantic flight wasn't enough, that we needed to, on our layover, actually go into London, meet up with friends, and then make it back to the airport to catch our next flight to South Africa. Yes, Zane and I both decided that was a good idea. And then we also had to include Dusty, our cat, who's my other wild child. But yes, this family really provides so much joy for me, and they are a delight. Now, my next slide will show what I call the continuum of friendship. It's a large spectrum. And we have, on one side, we have strangers and new acquaintances, and on the other side, we have our spouse and our lifetime friends. This is how I organize friendships in my mind. It's a visual, it's a continuum, so there's a lot of fluidity and a lot of movement. Women, as we know, place a great amount of importance on friendships. Today, I want to discuss what our responsibility we play in those friendships. As women, we particularly strive to be known and be loved. And as a member of Christ Fellowship, you should know that that has been drilled into us, that is our goal here, that everyone deserves to find a place where they are seen and they are known and they are loved. We find that importance in our relationships with one another. However, what does Satan do? And I'm going to keep coming back to this. Destroy, damage, and steal joy. If I had to take a vote, and I don't want you to put up your hands, mentally take a vote, and if I had to ask you to raise your hands, if we were guilty of doing any of the following, how many times have we been involved in a conversation that we felt the need to have the final say, gossip about what we've just heard, or bad-mouthing our children or hubby to our friends? I mean, I know for one I'm guilty, but I would like to put a disclaimer in there. A husband with man flu is not bad-mouthing him. We can all relate to that. When we sin, we break down fellowship that we are called to foster, and that is a red flag. You cannot control how someone else responds to you, but it is our responsibility to stand in the truth and be loving no matter what, and no matter who we interact with along this continuum. Whether it's a stranger that you've met for the first time, or whether it's your lifelong friend or your spouse. For any relationship to grow needs to be nurtured over time, and time cannot be rushed. You know, if you move somewhere new, you want those friends immediately. You want to feel that you are plugged in immediately. But at the end of the day, you have to give it time. We need to be the light to those around us, whether they are believers or unbelievers. So if we had to look at this continuum, where in your mind would you put your high school friends, or family members, or in-laws. Friendship. If we look at our lives and the types of friendships we have, we can determine which ones we have and had served us for a season, a reason, and the ones that we've had for a lifetime. I love this. This is from 1 John 1, 5 to 10, and it really speaks about the Lord and the light and the darkness, and I just really love that visual. Being bold in our friendships relies on speaking in love, speaking in truth, and the provision of grace. It is imperative that our conversations with our friends as Christian sisters, that we are showing love, truth, and grace, as this is our light and we are called to shine it. Okay. If we look at 1 John, the Lord is very clear in that our relationships we hold need to always have intentionality, time, and quality conversation. Now, my job today is to provide you with a few biblical truths that we can relate to friendships. And I'm really excited to dig into these with you. They're very applicable to any friendship that you have, and I'll highlight a few to begin with. Okay, so number one, freedom. So we live in a peculiar time where we can say what we want and put it on social media, and because we've put it on social media, we feel we have the right to be heard. We blast it out on the internet, but what we can't lose sight of is how we use this privilege of freedom that the Lord has blessed us with in our online interaction as well as our face-to-face conversations. Are our conversations helping to build relationships, or are they being used to break them down? The Lord specifically tells us to be bold and go out and make disciples. If any of you were here yesterday, we had a guest preacher, Riley, and he spoke on this, and it was so convicting that I had to include it here today. He says very clearly, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit." And there is no better way to do that than with our friends. We need to understand that the freedom the Lord has given us is a precious gift. It is not our responsibility to convert every person. Let me repeat that. It is not our responsibility to Bible bash and convert everyone. It is our job to plant the seed, because the Lord will help that seed grow. But we are responsible to speaking about Jesus. It doesn't need to be forced, and it doesn't even need to require a massive effort. I struggled with how much I would share on social media about Cameron's medical journey. There are sensitive issues. He had over 15 procedures within the first 2 years of his life. So I was always very intentional about the words that I used, the Bible verses I prayed over, each post, so to speak. And I made it my goal to point everything back to Jesus. And I must say that now that we are 4 or 5 years down the line in his life, I'm still getting messages from close friends or acquaintances to those that are connected via my in-laws or my parents, just expressing how much that his posts and Jesus' words that are used in those posts impacted on their lives. Are you using your freedom to help build relationships, or can it be construed as breaking it down? Love. I love speaking about love, especially with Jesus' love, because it was never transactional. He never, ever, ever entered a relationship with an ulterior motive. He died for our sins, even with a crowd standing in front of him, mocking him, or crying. There were people crying, there were people mocking, and shouting at him as he was being nailed to the cross. Friendship should not be transactional. But unfortunately, we are sinners, and it does happen that way sometimes. We should not be friends with someone if we are wanting to get something out of that relationship. The world teaches us that if we're not getting something from someone, then they're not worth having in your life. Cancel culture 101. Okay, if someone doesn't agree with you, then you need to cut them out. And it doesn't work that way. Harsh, but sometimes we are called to love and serve others. And so sometimes we won't get the things that we would love to receive from friends, but that shouldn't dictate how you serve and love others. Now, under the banner of love, I wanted to highlight our spouses, because our spouses should be our friend. Friendship is so important for the health of our marriage. The order of hierarchy biblically places our relationship with the Lord, and then our spouse, and then our children, and then our friends. And there's a reason that was created. We need to be mindful of that hierarchy to keep a healthy balance in our lives between our friendships and our home life. Because the next thing I want to speak about is the only time I would recommend a friendship break or a friendship breakup is if it is getting in the way of that relationship hierarchy. If that friend is putting you in direct conflict with your relationship with the Lord, that is hard, but there is love in setting someone free, and it should never be viewed as a failure. There is something to be learned from every relationship that you can use for future relationships. So I just wanted to take a moment and pause for that, because I think it's very important. We sometimes bash a friendship over and over again because we're desperate to cling onto it and hold onto it, when sometimes the best thing that you can do is release that. Okay. Our next biblical truth is stewardship. Be a mentor and have mentors to go to. We are born with many different spiritual gifts, and my spiritual gift is very different to the next person's spiritual gift. So I want to encourage you, sign up for those meal trains. Be a reason friend. What I mean by that, if there's a meal train, the person that we're making that food for or providing that food for, there's a reason that they need that. Who knows? Maybe that reason friendship will eventually develop into a lifetime friendship just by that kindness that you have shown by providing a meal. Simple. Nothing shines our Jesus light even more than providing meals for a sister during a trying time. I know that in my life, my mom was astounded. In South Africa, we would make meals for friends, but we didn't have things like meal trains or sign-up geniuses or things like that. And so when I had my babies, Cameron and Jack, we had meals delivered to our home 3 times a week. And Cameron was in hospital for over 3 months. That was a phenomenal example of Christ's love for my mom to witness. 1 Peter speaks about spiritual gifts to use and serve one another. And we need to steward our gifts, especially in our friendships. Stewardship is closely linked with our next biblical truth, wise counsel. Oh boy. So wise counsel is a great thing. Find a mentor. I love this. You've got to find someone that is going to feed into you spiritually. Or take a friendship stock take of the friends that you have in your life. Be honest with yourself. Analyze who you turn to for wise counsel, and the counsel that they're receiving or that they are giving you, are you receiving it? Is it biblically sound? Okay. I have many mentors in my life. Some know that they're my mentor and some don't. Others, they don't, and then through their actions and their Jesus light, they've proven to be wonderful examples of friendship to me. A mentor is not only someone that you can speak to about things that bother you, but also someone that you feel bold enough to trust in with a simply, can you pray for me? Without even giving a reason, and you know you've got it covered. And that's a wonderful gift that you can be for someone. There is also nothing wrong with seeking counsel if you're finding a particular friendship challenging or troubling. But I'm going to preface this with a warning. My rules for this are, check your heart. What are your intentions of seeking counsel? Because if it's to gossip, then that's on you. You need to check yourself. Rule out the gossip factor by praying that the words you use in your discussion are purely to find a solution to that troubling friendship. Okay. Wise counsel. Faith versus fear. Take the chances. Join the groups. I've been part of Moms Connection for a very long time, and I'm a geriatric member at this point. I've seen many moms come and go, but I'm so proud of all the ladies here today because you have taken the opportunity. Something obviously stirred in your mind and your heart, and you felt that this was a place important enough for you to spend every second Monday with us. It's fantastic. I've been a part of the Purple Table for many years, and this year the Lord called 2 of our table members to become DGLs at other tables. And as sad as that was for me, because selfishly I like to have my people, but I just love seeing them move out and forging new tables and the relationships that they are creating there. And Satan is not happy about it. And I'm going to use my friend Christine as an example. She's not here today. She has yet to get to Mom's Connection. And she won't mind me sharing this. Only every 2 weeks, a child is sick. And I'm not talking, a sniffly nose. No, I'm talking fevers, over 100, throwing up. I mean, Satan is trying everything to prevent her from connecting to her group. But she is refusing to bow down to that. So he's not happy with the relationships that we are forging here. And I like that. I like that he's uncomfortable and not us. Seek out those opportunities, feel the fear, and have the faith that they'll work out. And it's okay if it doesn't, because you would have learned something from trying something out new, and it will help you to build that confidence for the next opportunity that will come next. Peace and anxiety. If the last 3 years has done the last 3 years has done something to exacerbate anxiety in society for many areas of our lives, we could not escape it. I've also seen an incredible amount of peace in some women as well. Being bold in our vulnerability and showing this to our friends helps break down those barriers because you're telling your friends that you have a level of trust to share those worries, plus it'll help ease your anxiety too. I'm sure we've all heard the word FOMO, or the abbreviation FOMO, the fear of missing out. I'm your yes person. I hate missing out. I want to be at every function. I want to be doing all the things. I love to have an extra full calendar that's color-coded. But the problem arises when I hear of a group of friends getting together and I wasn't included or invited. There was no malice in the situation. It wasn't an intentional, let's leave Nicole out. But Satan is whispering because he knows this is my weak spot. I don't like to miss out. So instead of just brushing it off and realizing, hey, they had something going on, it's not a big deal, I'll start to think, well, they got together and they left you out on purpose. You're not good enough, friend. You're not included. You deserve to be left out. The other people invited are more important than you. You don't fit in their hierarchy. Was any of this true? No. Okay? The Lord has worked with me to accept that sometimes it's okay. You don't need to be at all the things. You don't need to be included in all the things. It's okay to say no to doing everything and going everywhere just because someone has invited me. I have a select few people that when I really share that anxiety with, and it reaches breaking point, and I'm really worried about a situation, they have been wonderful in helping me, stepping off the proverbial ledge, bringing me back to reality, breathing through that anxiety, and just reminding me that tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow will bring new blessings. You can get through this. It's not a big deal. I had no control over those decisions that people made. So it doesn't need to be an anxiety or a stress for me. I have no business worrying over that. The Lord has told me so much. He will take those worries. Stand firm in the truth, ladies. And on that note, I love to move on to the next biblical truth, blessings. So 2 Corinthians 9:8-10 says, God is able to bless you abundantly so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work, as it is written. They have freely scattered their gifts to the poor, their righteous endures forever. A blessing in the Bible is God's favor poured into our life, and I love that. Some blessings require work, or action on your part in order to receive the blessing, much like that of the Israelites inheriting the promised land. Ask God what work you will need to do to receive the blessing he has for you. Maybe it is stepping out and introducing yourself to a mom that has never been to Mom's Connection before and welcoming them into your table. Maybe it's having that conversation with a mom that's sitting in church on her own on a Sunday. You don't know what she's come to church with that morning, and maybe your happy, smiley face is the one thing that helps her get through that day. Looking at today's theme, our greatest blessings are those relationships we nurture through fellowship. Our friendships. It is the friend you know you can call on at any time of the day for that word of encouragement, the friend that you can have a disagreement with and know that you can agree to disagree and have it not impact that friendship, and it's okay. It's the friend that you can ask for prayer and know that it will be done. No questions asked. But most importantly, it's the friend that you can be for someone else. How can you be a blessing in someone else's life? It could be in the form of a listening ear, a cup of coffee, a baked good dropped off on their porch, or even the provision of a meal. Or maybe babysitting. I just added that one in. That's a good one. Psalm 112 also tells us not to look around and seek blessings in our life, but be the blessing as well. Don't hesitate. Go out and be bold. Sisters, my goal today was to provide you with biblical truths and biblical tools with the intention for you to use them boldly in your friendships. My prayer for all of you is that you make those connections through shining your Jesus light in love, grace, and truth. You've got this, and I'm so excited to hear of how you are going to be a blessing for others and how others are going to be a blessing for you. I'm going to end today with a look at a Facebook post. Amy Weatherly is part of the group Sister I'm With You. They kind of write these long letter-type deals on Facebook and Instagram. It was written a couple of weeks ago, and I began investigating these ladies a little bit more. They're Texan. They are Christian, Jesus lovers, Christian, and they have books specifically on friendships. And the reason why I'm highlighting them today is because they've just brought out one for young girls and teens. And I thought, what a cool way to include it here, because our young girls need all the help that they can get right now. I'm so glad that I did not grow up in the time of TikTok and Instagram and all that, because I just feel it puts up so many facades and more barriers that one has to break through in order to find those true connections. And so I have read the reviews, and it's a great resource. But what I wanted to highlight is their posts on friendships. So Amy writes, here is the truth. You can be a really good friend and still not be liked. You can hold someone dear and still not be valued. You can say all the right things and still have someone twist your words, brush off your words, or worse, use your words against you. You can give it your absolute best and still have it not work out. You can be straight up sunshine in the flesh and still walk away into some heavy rain clouds. You can play your heart out and still lose the game. You can place the highest bid and still walk away empty-handed. You can be pure as humanly possible and still be painted as the bad guy. There are 5 things she highlights. She says, you can't control other people. Other people aren't you. Some people are never going to like you, and there isn't necessarily a rhyme or reason. Sometimes you're actually the bad guy, and so you have to ask for grace. You have to ask for forgiveness, and there is a purpose to it all, because we've been told by the Lord that there is. So remember, ladies, that the enemy's job is to seek us out, play on our insecurities, and to limit our boldness by stealing our joy. Stand in the truth the Lord has given us, and you can't go wrong. So let us close in prayer. Lord, thank you for these ladies here today. I pray that seeds have been planted in each and every one of their hearts, and that they will all step forward in their boldness to develop their friendships for your glory. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
These are your discussion questions at your tables, DGLs. Raynell is back there at the prayer table for those of you who are seeking one-on-one prayer. Enjoy discussing because that was a lot and such good content. So enjoy time at your tables.